Okay, for this video I'm going to show how to create PowerShell scripts and how to run them and everything to do with PowerShell scripting. In the last video I just showed how to, use Azure PowerShell to, do some simple commands like creating a virtual machine, but that's fine if you're doing one-off tasks, but you really want to get to know how to do scripting if you have complex tasks or repetitive stuff, because imagine you have to create like 10 virtual machines and then delete them, and doing it through the portal will take the longest, and doing it through the commands and normal PowerShell without running a script will take a while too. So let's do scripts. So yeah, so anyway, so first let me show you let's run PowerShell. So I'm going to change the directory because I installed Azure module in here, and just to keep it clean and everything. And here's the script I created. I'll get into that in a second, but anyway, let's change module. So we're going to change directory to the name of this folder. Anyway, so you gotta do that to be able to, access the script in the module. And I showed you in the last video how to create the Azure module and import it and do all that. But anyway, so we're in PowerShell, and okay, I don't want to open up as a. So you can see that the PowerShell script here opens up in Notepad, and I could change the default program that it opens up in, but anyway, it's cool to just see that you could, do your scripting in any text editor. But this looks kind of basic, so it's better to do Windows PowerShell ISE, the integrated scripting environment, kind of like for programming it's IED or IDE or whatever, the developer environment. So when you open it up, it'll give you the PowerShell window and then the script creation window. So you could just do new script here, but since I already created it, I'm going to go to the script I already created, and let me make it a bit bigger so you can see easier. So anyway, all this script does is, so you see how this looks much nicer than the Notepad file, like it's color coded, and like if I change something, it'll underline like, oh, it's an error. Anyway, so first we import the module of Azure, which is like in the same directory, so it'll find it. Then we connect to the account, basic stuff that you have to do every time you do PowerShell. You don't use a portal cloud shell. Then we define some variables. So here we're declaring a variable for the VM. The name is demo VM, and then the resource group demo RG. Then we create the credentials. So it's going to give us this prompt, and then we put in the username and the password, and then we actually create the virtual machine. Say new, and then the resource group name is a variable we created. VM name is variable, credential, boom. So this is all will save us time if we're going to run it multiple times. Instead of having to type in the names, we just put in the variable. And then the image will be Ubuntu. And we did put size or other stuff, but you could do whatever other parameters you want to put. But that's all the script does. And I don't want to run it in here, I'll go back to PowerShell. So anyway, so we're in the directory and stuff, and to be able to run a script is, make sure you're in the right file path, and you just do dot slash, backslash, the name of it, so I called it create vm.ps1, which is a file extension for PowerShell. And it's going to run it, and it's going to take a minute or two, but with literally just one piece of code, one line is going to do all that stuff. So I'll come back when it's ready. So it's just been like 10 more seconds or 5. So it's doing authentication, the connect account. So here now we got to put in the credential. And now it's starting to create it. So it's doing all this just from that one line. Okay, so it's succeeded, created. Let's check. Type it. So we created a demo virtual machine because that's what we called it, and you know all the other resources you need when you create a virtual machine. So it's succeeded. We verified it. That's how to run the script. You first type it up in here, save it, and run it in PowerShell. And so let's talk about the different things. So I went over variable. You could pass objects in the variable, like let's say here I want to define another variable of like, I don't know, credential again. I'd say, oh, instead of saying this stuff or whatever, I will actually put in like a commandlet of like get credential. So you could do that. And that's another thing you could do with variables. In scripting, there's loops and other things. So, you know, like for, while, do. So just a simple one would be like, let's just make space. For, let's say VM name. I'm gonna say equals 1. Then we're gonna say LT is less than. That's the comparison we're gonna make. So less than 3. So basically we're gonna do like, okay, let me just get to the last part of the loop. Missing closing. Yeah. You do plus plus for and we're going to output the VM name. So basically it starts off at 1, then it's going to check if is 1 less than 3, yes. Alright, then output it, so I'll just say the VM name, of which I guess is 1 here. I didn't make a good loop really. Then it's going to increase after it's done in here, so now it's 2. So then it checks again, okay, is 2 less than 3, yes. Then it's going to do that again. But actually this time it will output 2. And then it's 1 less than 2, then 2 is less than 3, yes. So it'll run twice because 3 is not less than 3. If I did less than, I think it's E. What's E? I don't know what the less than how to do equals, but that's how to do a simple loop. I'm not going to actually show it. Let me see what else I could show. Oh, you could also show when you're executing your script, you could also pass parameters into it. Like, I don't know if you want to do size, because we never set it in the actual script, and we could put it here. So that's how to do that. So it's just passing arguments, and by providing the name of it, it helps the name it helps it extract the values. But you could also do, you could just do it like that, just 5. And like if we didn't say location, you could do East US. And then we'll do, like inside the script, we can do we could do parameters, and we'll say, okay, here's size and here's location. So there's a lot you could do, but I'm just going over the basics, and I think that's enough for this video.